Nestled high in the Andes Mountains, straddling the border between Peru and Bolivia, lies one of the world's most extraordinary natural wonders, Lake Titicaca. At an astonishing 3,812 meters above sea level, it holds the title of the highest navigable lake on Earth. This vast expanse of shimmering blue water, encircled by snow-capped peaks and windswept plains, is more than just a breathtaking landscape. It is a cradle of ancient civilizations, a realm of living traditions, and a place where myth and reality converge. Lake Titicaca is an aquatic giant, covering more than 8,300 square kilometers, making it the largest lake in South America by volume and surface area. Approximately 56% of this vast body of water lies within Peru, while the remaining 44% belongs to Bolivia. The lake's shimmering surface is fed by rainfall and meltwater from the surrounding Andes, with its only natural outlet being the Desaguadero River, which flows southward into Bolivia. Its altitude alone is remarkable. At over 12,500 feet above sea level, Lake Titicaca is the world's highest navigable lake. Here, boats, including ferries and traditional vessels, glide effortlessly across its surface despite the thin mountain air. But this lake is not just wide, it is deep. In some areas, its waters plunge over 280 meters, roughly the height of a 90-story skyscraper. Even its name is steeped in legend. The name Titicaca is believed to derive from two Quechua words, Titi, meaning puma, and caca, meaning rock. Some even say that when viewed from above, the lake's shape resembles a puma chasing a rabbit, a poetic tribute to the lake's majestic presence. The story of Lake Titicaca begins millions of years ago, shaped by immense geological forces. As the South American and Nazca tectonic plates collided, the Andes Mountains rose, creating a vast high-altitude basin. This depression filled with water, giving rise to an ancient lake known as Lake Bolivian, which was much larger than the modern Titicaca. Over millennia, Lake Bolivian gradually receded, leaving behind a series of smaller lakes, with Titicaca becoming the largest and most enduring. Traces of this ancient transformation are etched into the surrounding landscape. High above the current shoreline, paleo shorelines, fossilized remains of ancient lake shores, stand as silent witnesses to a history of fluctuating climates, shifting glaciers, and rising mountains. Lake Titicaca's waters are also home to species that hint at an even more ancient past. Certain aquatic life, such as marine-like killifish and ancient crustaceans, suggests that this high-altitude lake may have once been connected to the ocean. How these species adapted to their freshwater environment and thin mountain air remains a fascinating scientific puzzle. Lake Titicaca is more than just a natural marvel. It is a sacred space where ancient civilizations once thrived. For the Inca, it was the birthplace of their world. According to legend, the god Viracocha emerged from the lake's waters to create the sun, the moon, and the first human beings. From the island of the sun, Isla del Sol, the mythical founders of the Inca Empire, Manco Capac and Mama Oclo, were said to have begun their journey to build an empire. But even before the Inca, the lake's shores were home to the Tiwanaku civilization, one of South America's most advanced pre-Inca cultures. This remarkable society built massive stone temples, sophisticated agricultural terraces, and expansive trade networks across the lake using enormous reed boats. The ruins of Tiwanaku still stand today near the lake's southern shores, a testament to a lost world of monumental architecture and profound spiritual beliefs. Beneath the lake's tranquil surface lies another enigma. Archaeologists have discovered the ruins of ancient temples and terraces submerged in its depths, raising the tantalizing possibility of a lost city that once stood on these shores. Whether submerged by rising waters or built by a civilization that vanished long ago, these underwater ruins add an air of mystery to Lake Titicaca's already legendary status. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of Lake Titicaca's living culture is the Uros Islands, floating islands constructed entirely from totora reeds. These remarkable man-made islands are home to the Uros people, who maintain a way of life that has endured for centuries. The islands themselves are a marvel of human ingenuity, made by layering fresh reeds over older, rotting layers to keep them buoyant. Homes, boats, and even watchtowers are crafted from these versatile reeds, creating a world that literally floats on water. But the Uros are not the lake's only keepers of tradition. On Isla del Sol and Isla de la Luna, Inca mythology comes to life, with ancient temples and shrines dotting the rugged landscape. These islands are sacred sites where ancient rituals continue to be performed, connecting the present with the past. The surrounding shores are home to Quechua and Aymara communities who have lived in harmony with the lake for generations. They fish its waters, cultivate its fertile shores, and celebrate its spiritual significance with colorful festivals. Their customs, clothing, and even their languages are living testaments to the region's cultural richness. Lake Titicaca is not just culturally significant. It is a biological treasure trove, a sanctuary of life forged by isolation and evolution. Its towering altitude and remote geography have turned it into a natural laboratory, where species have evolved in ways found nowhere else on Earth. This high-altitude lake is a world of remarkable biodiversity, where each creature has adapted to survive in the thin mountain air and cold, clear waters. Among its most iconic inhabitants is the Titicaca water frog, a species so distinctive that it has earned the nickname scuba diving frog. Unlike most amphibians, this critically endangered frog is equipped with loose, baggy skin that gives it a wrinkled, almost saggy appearance. But this is not just an oddity. It is a vital adaptation. The frog's skin acts as a massive surface area for absorbing oxygen directly from the water, a crucial trait in a lake where the thin air holds little oxygen. Sadly, this unique creature is also a symbol of fragility. Pollution, habitat loss, and overharvesting for the exotic pet trade have pushed the Titicaca water frog to the brink of extinction. Gliding over the lake's surface is another extraordinary resident, the Titicaca grebe. This flightless bird has evolved to be perfectly adapted to life on the water, but it has lost the ability to soar through the skies. Instead, it is a master of the waves, diving beneath the surface to catch fish with remarkable agility. Its inability to fly has made it exceptionally specialized, but it also means the species is highly vulnerable to environmental changes. Pollution, invasive species, and habitat disruption can have devastating impacts on its population. Beneath the lake's shimmering surface, a world of aquatic life thrives in isolation. Native fish species like the Orestias, a genus of fish found only in this region, have evolved for thousands of years in the clear, cold waters of Lake Titicaca. These fish are a living reminder of the lake's ancient history, adapting to the lake's unique conditions as it transformed from a vast prehistoric sea to a high-altitude freshwater oasis. But the lake's ecosystem is not just about the creatures that swim in its depths or glide across its surface. The towering totora reeds that fringe the shoreline are a lifeline for both wildlife and humans. For the lake's animal inhabitants, these dense reed beds provide shelter, nesting sites, and feeding grounds. Waterbirds find refuge among the swaying stalks, while fish use the reeds as nurseries for their young. Yet, despite its remote location, Lake Titicaca is not immune to modern threats. Pollution from urban runoff, untreated sewage, and agricultural waste is clouding its once pristine waters. Towns like Puno in Peru and El Alto in Bolivia with their growing populations and limited infrastructure, have become sources of contamination. Invasive species introduced for commercial fishing, such as trout and kingfish, have disrupted the lake's delicate ecological balance, pushing native species toward extinction. Climate change is another pressing concern. Erratic rainfall patterns and rising temperatures are lowering the lake's water levels and threatening the wetlands that sustain its diverse ecosystem. But there is hope. Local governments, scientists, and indigenous communities are working together to protect Lake Titicaca. From water quality monitoring to habitat restoration and sustainable tourism practices, efforts are underway to preserve this natural and cultural treasure. For travelers, Lake Titicaca offers an experience unlike any other. On the Peruvian side, the town of Puno serves as a gateway to the lake's wonders. From here, visitors can board boats to the Uros floating islands, where the ancient art of reed island making is on full display. Further out, the island of Tequila offers a window into traditional Andean life, where hand-woven textiles tell stories of centuries-old customs. Across the border in Bolivia, the tranquil town of Copacabana offers stunning lake views and access to Isla del Sol, a place steeped in Inca mythology. Here, you can hike ancient trails, explore sacred ruins, and watch the sun set over the lake's shimmering waters. Yet the true magic of Lake Titicaca is not just in its landscapes or its legends. It is in the way this place blurs the line between past and present, nature and culture. It is a realm where ancient gods still seem to linger in the mist, where traditions are not relics but a way of life, and where the silence of the mountains speaks volumes. Lake Titicaca is a story, a living narrative of ancient civilizations, sacred waters, and resilient cultures. A place where history is not just remembered, but lived. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comments section.